We good? My camera still recording? Yes. No, there you go, it's got a tracker. It's got a tracker on there. I gotta get that right. There we go. We're together. So I create a lot of content too. Track me. Follow me. There you go. You got me? All right, whatever. We don't need it. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That was the sound of my front door. I knew where it was, but I wasn't ready to face the truth. The truth was gonna be the first time I would have a gun pointed to my face. The truth was we was about to be evicted. The truth was I was 9 years old. The truth was I was home alone. Let me set the scene so you guys understand how we got here. The year was 1985. I was 9 years old, Austin, Texas. I know some of you doing the math, you're thinking, man, 1985, you carried the one after two, he's 49, you're right. Just yesterday I was 49, I turned 49 yesterday. And I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking the same thing when I passed the mirror. I was like, damn, that dude look good. Damn, that dude look good, don't he? I look great for 49, I know I do. So, I don't even know, these are true stories. So the banging kept on continuing at the front door. I knew who it was, but I had to find out myself at 9. So what I did is I snuck to the bedroom, I let the blind down, and I looked through the blind and I could see the constable's vehicle directly in front of our duplex. To ensure that I had it right, I angled my head to look at the front door and I could see a large male figure banging on the door, full uniform, massive utility belt. And I don't know why I was focused on that utility belt, but at 9 I saw that big gun and I saw all of the items that he had around that utility belt. I knew he was about to enter our house. Show of hands, everybody's been evicted in here. Oh, it's just me? We got another person that's been evicted. So being evicted back in the day, the way you knew you was about to be evicted is they would put a large yellow sign on your door that said eviction notice. You're familiar with that, you're not in your head, okay. That said eviction notice, this premises needs to be vacated by such and such date. Well, that date happened to be today. We were hopeful as a family that we could make it through the weekend. Because if we made it through the weekend, that would give my mom an extra couple of days to kind of figure things out. We never figured it out. We got evicted that day. I'm thinking at 9 years old, I can outsmart the police officer. The only thing I need to do is hide. Let me give you the setup of our small little duplex. As soon as you come inside, you enter a small living room. You take about 4, 5, 6 good steps. On the right-hand side, there was an entry to the bedroom. You take 1 step into the bedroom, you close the door, there's a closet, small closet on the left-hand side. You take 2, 3 more steps, there's another room that enters the bathroom. That's the bedroom. You go back out into the living room, there's a small bar that separated the living room from the kitchen. Now, we were broke. We didn't have a nice, fancy bar. Growing up in the hood, it's not really a bar because you couldn't put your legs underneath it. It was more like a ledge, about a 4-inch ledge. So basically the bar became a catch-all. Behind that was a small sink that was facing the living room. Full-size refrigerator, 2 cabinets, small countertop space, 4-burner gas range. That was our whole apartment. 3 people, me, my mom, and my brother. I was the oldest of 2. We're 5.5 years difference. So I'm thinking, okay, I can hide from this police officer in our small unit. I knew he was gonna come in and check the living room. Then after he cleared the living room, he's gonna go to the bedroom. After the bedroom is cleared, he's gonna look over the kitchen counter bar and notice there's nobody there. And he would leave, we can stay through the weekend. So what I do is I creep to the kitchen, and I get in the tornado position. Y'all see that in elementary school? You get down in that tornado position, right? So I get in the tornado position, back up against the countertop where the sink is. So the sink is right here. And I hold my breath. As soon as I get in position, boom! He kicks the door in. I can hear the large steps making their way through the living room. Commands being shouted as he clears the room. His utility belt is just clanging and banging as he's moving away. I can hear this at 9. He makes his way into the bedroom. More shouts, more commands, more utility belts, more heavy footsteps. All of a sudden it gets completely quiet. And I'm like, I got smarter than him. He's about to leave. Next thing I know, I hear shouting, I look up and 9mm is pointed to my face. We got evicted that day. I don't know why. and maybe you do, but from the time that gun was pointed to my face until the time I started my 8th, you heard me right, 8th elementary school, 2 months later in a town 25 minutes away, I couldn't remember anything. From that point to 2 months later, I can't remember anything. There's a piece of my life that's gone. Maybe you call it trauma, you can call it whatever you want to call it. And I was thinking, when I was invited to speak here, I was like, okay, Patrick, what are you going to talk about? I said, make it personal. Make it personal. So I decided I'm going to make it personal. I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? So I did what anybody would do. You take a gummy. Oh, it's only me? I'm the only one taking gummies. So, okay, so you take a gummy. Okay, listen. It was more than a gummy, it was more like 3. I took like 3. So I took like 3 gummies. Because what do you get? When you got peace, you get clarity, right? You get peace, you get clarity. So I needed clarity to tap back into what I've been through. So all this trauma came flooding back. And then I realized, okay, this is the story you need to tell. Let me give you the setup of our family. Again, I told you that I'm the oldest of 2, right? 5.5 years difference. My mom, her street name is Little Bit, L-I-L-B-I-T. L-I-L-B-I-T. Little Bit because she was only 4'11", 115 pounds, right? The Bit because of her personality. Her personality was a bit much. My mom was one of those people, she never backed down from a fight. You always knew where you stood because she would speak her voice, and she always stayed 10 toes down, period. You knew where you stood with her, she liked her, she didn't, right? She was a professional hustler. When I say that, my mom shot craps in the street, rolled dice. That's what she did to make up for her lack of income. So she rolled dice professionally. So she always carried the belief she needed to be tough as a woman, that she always taught us as men, we need to be 10 times tougher. That's the street vernacular, right? You need to be tough to survive the streets. Now, as we fast forward, we face so many different things. My mom ended up getting strung out on drugs, crack. This is during the 80s. So much so, right across the street, we used to live across from the crack house. And when I say right across the street, any kid, any person in this room, you can pick up a pebble and throw it, there was a crack house. You would hit the crack house. So my mom was juggling addiction between being an adult and taking care of her kids. And one of the things that my mom, she did well, is she always gave us love. Like love, every single day. So no matter the struggle that we went through, I never felt like I wasn't loved. And so what that meant, I was able to accept some of the things that we didn't have. It made it easier for me because we're in it together. In fact, if you go look at our tombstone, we put it on there, the 3 Musketeers. Me, my mom, my brother. That's all we had. So you fast forward to high school. I'm about to graduate high school. I want to go to college. Like, well, how am I going to get to college? My mom was a high school dropout. She only had a GED. She used to be a caregiver. She couldn't help me navigate the college landscape. I didn't have a grandfather because my mom didn't, I don't know who my mom's dad was. She was coined the black sheep of the family. So she really didn't have a connection with her family. My mom was my mom and my dad. So when she passed away, you lose both, which is interesting. And so I was like, okay, I want to go to college. The best way for me to get to college was join the military. I joined the military, signed up for 6 years. Best decision I ever made. 6 years was absolutely amazing. It's kind of where I found myself. I found a lot of things. I found about leadership. I actually had a job. I had a skill set. I got to travel and see the world. I learned about tact, which a lot of kids today don't know about tact. That's the ability to tell your mind without offending people, right? A lot of kids don't know that. So I learned about tact. I learned about empowerment, how to use people's visions to affect the greater good of the organization. And, you know, the vision of the military was to protect and serve. And then what it also allowed me to get out of my belief system. All of us in here, we have these belief systems. Especially if you come from poverty, if you come from struggle, it's the woe is me type of attitude. It's only designed to break me. It's only designed to hurt me. It's only me. But when you travel and you go to other countries, what you see is people have it way worse than what you have it. I thought I had it bad. But then you go to other countries, they have dirt floors. They have man-made shacks. They actually still walk down the street to use the bathroom. No running water. This is real life. No dental. You can see it in their smile. And so it quickly had me snap and get out of that mindset that, hey, the world is against me. I can control my destiny, right? So 3 years into the military, I decided, I was like, okay, I'm trying to find myself. And what I found out about myself is I was a metrosexual. Anybody know what a metrosexual is? Anybody know what a metrosexual? So I thought I was a metrosexual. I was like, damn, I like looking good. I like smelling good. I was the guy who would go to Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secrets and buy all their lotions. I'm that dude. I didn't work for long, so I'm like, if the women can smell good, I can smell good too. So that was me. That influenced what I wanted to do with my life. So when I was getting ready to get out of the military, I was like, okay, well, why fix these darn things when you can fly? So I got accepted to Spartan School of Aeronautics in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was going to be an airline pilot. Perfect job to go to work looking and smelling good and come home the same way in which you went to work. Perfect! Perfect! Right? Right when I was transitioning out of the military, my wife and I, we got married. She had 2 kids. I had 1. And then later, as soon as we got married, we ended up having 4. So we had 4 kids. We moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, started flight school. Then I realized I can't afford flight school. Flight school, you go from flight school 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then you have to find a full-time job to pay for your mortgage and all your kids. Offer me $9, $10 an hour. I'm like, I can't do this. I dropped out of flight school and I started going to the University of Phoenix. Got my bachelor's degree, later ended up getting my master's degree. But I found the mobile home industry. I started doing sales in mobile homes. Within 2 years, I was like, man, I'm really, really good at this. I got promoted to sales manager. After a year of being in sales manager role, I became a general manager. That relocated my family back to Texas. I started overseeing dealerships. I'm in my 20s. I'm making 6 figures a year. I'm taking care of bills. I have no stresses in the world. I'm balling. I'm living life. So I thought. Then the house market went to crap in 2007. Y'all remember that, right? Mm-hmm. By the end of 2008, I'm working 6 days a week, 80 plus hours. And I'm like, this is insane. I can't live like this. I have to do something different. I pivoted and found healthcare in 2009. I think somebody else had 2009 up there. And I started doing sales and marketing for independent communities, helping families transition from a home-based setting to a community-based setting. And I was like, man, this is a layup. Like, you're gonna give me a salary and I get bonuses for helping people leave their house? Too easy, right? So I was like, okay, let me explore healthcare even more. So I went from independent living to assisted living, stayed in assisted living for a little bit. Then I picked up memory care and skilled nursing. And I was like, man, these are dope industries, right? I can make a living doing this. And then I found my big boy opportunity in 2015. This is where I became a VP of a technology company, and I reported directly to the CEO. And we were backed by a multi-billion-dollar private equity firm. We were selling electronic health records in the post-acute care space. I had a pretty large role. 8,000 clients nationwide, had my own sales team, business development team, had a product management team, scrum master, customer success team, business development team in Chennai, India. All that was underneath my span of influence. Grew the business unit 30% year over year over year. 3.5 consecutive years. We sold that company in 2018. When we sold that company, it changed my life again. I looked at my bank account, I was like, damn, that's what you make when you sell companies? Dude, this is the life. This is what I want to do. Like, I'm living life. But what I learned from that experience is, although I was grateful, I'm like, there's nobody in the room that looked like me. How the hell did I get here? What did I do to deserve this? And so since then, I created my own company, PDP Media. It's through storytelling, just really helping give back into healthcare, helping people, executives tell their journey, how they got here, helping organizations go behind the scenes to tell your different and better story, helping spotlight talent, leadership goals. I just recently did a LinkedIn Live where I spotlighted a brand new job seeker who's interested in getting in healthcare. So now I use my network to influence outcomes specifically in healthcare. So now my focus is a bit about impact. Why am I sharing this with you? What's the story, Patrick? The story is healthcare is not beautiful. Healthcare is pretty ugly. We're going through changes right now. But guess what? Every administration, healthcare goes through changes. Every administration. Y'all know why that is? It's because it's the biggest industry. And you can have the biggest impact. You can have the most influence when you change healthcare. So when you feel like there's an attack on DEI, we can't even say it anymore. We don't even shop at Target anymore because they got rid of DEI, right? In fact, we're changing the names of what DEI actually means. People are like short circling and acting like DEI is not a thing anymore. But reality is, knowing that healthcare is not perfect, us as leaders in the room, we're still faced and challenged with how do we make healthcare more effective. And so when we go back to work, people, they challenge you. Let's focus on process improvements. Let's get our processes down. Let's focus on budgets. Let's focus on marketing. We focus on all these things that we think we need to be perfect, but healthcare is not perfect. The people that we serve is not perfect. And so even though DEI is going away, the work that we do doesn't go away. The impact that we make doesn't go away. I'm a DEI hire. How do I know that? Because I was the only black dude that looked like me. Like, how else did I get in that position? I felt like I was a DEI hire. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. But here's the thing that nobody knows, and you guys know it as well. There's no stamp to go on your resume that say you're a DEI hire. No, the recruiter doesn't tell you on the phone that, hey, guess what, Patrick, we're going to offer you the job. You're going to be our first DEI hire. They don't tell you that, right? Those metrics are kept behind the scenes with whoever influenced. So even though DEI may feel like it's going to the wayside, the work that we do, it never disappears. What we're tasked with is ensuring that our internal population actually matches the external population of the people that we serve. That's all we're doing. And guess what? We're not looking for handouts. We're looking for opportunities. That's it. So I challenge you as leaders to look around the room and ask yourself, who should be in the room that's not in the room? What face is not represented today? What voice is not heard? The only way we're going to get past this, it's not through shiny systems. It's through leadership, it's through courage, it's through us choosing each and every day to be better together. I want to dedicate this speech to my mom who passed away in 2001. She suffered her whole life with drug and alcohol abuse, but I love the crap out of her because she loved the crap out of me. And that's my mom. That's who you're born with, that's who it is, that's who you have. And she was also my dad. So when I lost my mom, I also lost my dad, which makes it even harder, and I still grieve for her today. So this message is not only to her, but every single mom, every single parent in this room who made sacrifices to ensure that your kids are better without you. Because she passed the baton, and now I'm trying to pass it forward. Listen, I'm known as that healthcare guy across social media, THAT, healthcare guy. I create content focused on storytelling, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of leadership insight. Through my media company, I take people visually behind the scenes to introduce your organization to the rest of the world. I spotlight leaders. I do LinkedIn Lives. I do a little bit of everything, right? And I'm here for you. And if you're a job seeker and you're looking for your next opportunity, I would love to spotlight you as well. And if you're looking for a keynote speaker like you did today, somebody that can move a room, somebody that can talk about sales leadership, somebody that can talk about true real life stories, then you definitely want to book your boy. And then lastly, make sure you shop my shit. We're better together. Thank y'all for your time.